Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Have a nice greeting, everybody. My name is Karisma, and in this session, I will present our paper with the title Violence Classification Using Support Vector Machine and Deep Transfer Learning as Feature Extraction. This presentation's contents are introduction, methods, experimental setup, result and discussion, and conclusion. Introduction. First, I will give explanation about violence definition. The World Health Organization gives the definition of violence as the intentional use of physical force or power, threatened or actual, against oneself, another person, or against a group or community that either result in or has a high likelihood of resulting in injury, death, psychological harm, maldevelopment, or deprivation. The reason why we're studying about violence classification is globally, estimates published by World Health Organization, 1 in 3 or 30% of women subjected to violence. But this case is not only for women, but also experienced by men and child. In Indonesia, according to a report by the Ministry of Women's Empowerment and Child Protection, 4,664 cases of violence occurred from January to May 19, 2021. CCTV is almost everywhere, but the recorded video will be checked after a problem occurs and it is too late. Therefore, early video-based violence detector is needed to help reduce the occurrence of video. Violence classification is still an interesting field of research. This is some research about violence classification. Sudakaran and Lance in 2017 proposed a deep neural network to extract frame-level features from a video. Pizzo et al. In 2018 using local histogram of oriented gradient and local histogram of optical flow from extracted optical flow image and coded to get a specific length vector that is classified by support vector machine. Prasad et al. In 2018 proposed particles with highly weighted value in online video to detect human tracking. Sunanda Das et al. They researched detecting violence on video using the histogram of oriented gradient as feature extraction. The highest accuracy was achieved using random forest, which was 86%. Ignoring Disantia et al. In 2019, they used deep learning convolutional neural network approach. The best performance on the Haki dataset reached 83.19% accuracy using ResNet 50 plus LSTM. Simon Akatoli et al. In 2020, they researched violence detection by modifying the three-dimensional convolutional neural network that designed using the keyframe as dividing nodes. Here is a block diagram of our research methods. The input data used is video. Then the videos are pre-processed. After that, we split it into test data and training data. Then we do feature extraction on that data. And then we train the SVM model using the training data to get the final model. From this final model, we classify the testing data and we get the evaluation result. The illustration of our pre-processing. First, extract the video into 20 frames, and then we resize the frames into 224 by 224. This size is chosen to adjust the layer input in the transfer learning process. The next process is feature extraction using transfer learning. What is transfer learning? Generally, transfer learning refers to a process where a model trained on one problem is used in some way on a second related problem. Visual geometry group network, or VGG16 is a convolutional neural network architecture which was used to win ILR's VR ImageNet competition in 2014. VGG16 has excellent vision model architecture. The model achieved 0.7% and be the top 5 test accuracy in ImageNet. It can handle huge dataset because it contains 16 weighted layers with approximately 138 million parameters. The unique things about VGG16 is focusing on having convolution layers of 3 by 3 filters with a straight one, and always use same padding and max full layer of 2 by 2 filter of straight 2. This is the block diagram of our feature extraction process. After the pre-processing, we get the image batch containing 20 frames. The batch image then goes through VGG16, which consists of 5 blocks with convolutional layer. The first until the third blocks contains 2 convolutional layers and 1 max pooling layer. The fourth and the fifth blocks contains 3 convolutional layer and 1 max pooling layer. After the fifth blocks, we get n by 20 by 7 by 7 by 512 size of matrix. N is the number of video. And then the matrix is going through the flattened and 2 fully connected layers. This process produces matrix with shape of n by 20 and by 4096. After this process, we are going to the classification process. We use support vector machine as the classifier algorithm. The reason why we use this algorithm is because it has outstanding performance, solving data classification problem in the small sample, nonlinear, and high-dimensional feature space. The core idea is find a separating hyperplane that will correctly distinguish the data. The hyperplane in the 2-dimensional data is a line, and in the 3-dimensional data is a plane. The parameter we use is C equals to 1. C is the regularization parameter, determine the trade-off of model complexity and classification error. And the gamma equals to 1 per n features times variance of data. Gamma is the kernel coefficient for RBF and polynomial. We use 3 types kernel of support vector machine. There are linear kernel, RBF kernel, and polynomial kernel. The experimental setup. Hacky-Fight dataset. The dataset used in this study is Hacky-Fight dataset, which is a .ev format video recording in a hockey game in the National Hockey League. This dataset downloaded from this link. The dataset has 2 classes with 500 videos each class. Its clips consist of 50 frames of 720 by 576 pixels. The left part is the sample on the violent class, and the right part is the sample on the non-violence class. The distribution of trained data and test data was carried out using key-fold cross-validation. The dataset is divided into 5 sections. So each section contains 200 data. We take 40 data from each section for the data test. With the rules, for the first section, we take the first 40 data. In the second section, we take the second 40 data, and so on until the last section, we take the last 40 data. So there are 200 test data and 800 trained data. Result and discussion. This is the confusion matrix of our experiment. We compare the VGG16 with principal component analysis as feature extraction. The accuracy and G-mean result can be seen from the following diagram. This diagram. In addition to accuracy, we use the geometrical mean because this parameter can describe the classification performance of the two classes of both balanced and imbalanced data. It can be seen that there is a significant difference between VGG16 and PCA. When using deep transfer learning, the accuracy and G-mean obtained are much better than when using PCA. Meanwhile, when viewed from the type of kernel, the VGG16 and SVM method is not too different. All three provide good performance. The highest accuracy and G-mean were achieved when using VGG SVM with linear kernel. The accuracy is 94.5% and the G-mean is 94.4%. The graph shows the test time per data. The test time required when using VGG16 is longer than when using PCA. This can be happen because during the feature extraction process, using deep transfer learning, the data goes through a convolution process in many layers. And as mentioned before, VGG16 has approximately 138 parameters. So it counts the length of time running, but even the time running is long, the accuracy obtained for the VGG16 as feature extraction method is quite good. Conclusion. The time required for VGG16 deep transfer learning to perform data testing is indeed longer than when using PCA. However, with a time difference of about 10 seconds for testing the data, can be still tolerate considering the accuracy obtained during deep transfer learning is significantly better. In this case, the best performance is VGGNet16 combined with SVM using linear kernel, which achieves 94.5% accuracy. This study is still challenging to get even better accuracy and faster time. That's all from my presentation. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.